Alchemize your energy. Darling, let your spirit be free. Don't give up, keep on pushing through. Now is the time, it's all up to you. Alchemize your energy, my friend. Let your spirit be free. Don't give up, keep on pushing through. Now is the time, it's all up to you. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, we will always take flight. Keep on pushing through the darkness of night. There's no limit, let's reach for the sky. Shine so bright, from darkness to light.
Welcome to Alchemizing Energy. Once again, we are here with a new series. We are talking about the divine feminine, and I am so happy to have this young lady again coming back to drop the knowledge on Islam and the divine feminine. Now, she's not just going to be talking about the divine feminine in Islam, but just the divine feminine altogether. Let's give a round of applause for Master Fundi. Welcome. Now we purposely, how you doing first? I can't hear you. Let's make sure we got our sound right.
My mic was muted. Peace and blessings. How are you, my love?
Peace and blessings. So the first time we had you on here, you were discussing Islamic Taoism and how you got into martial arts, also Islam. Now we're taking it to another level. But the biggest thing I wanted to really discuss is the image you have behind you. So that image is from the Gods of America. I think it was the Gods of America.
American Gods.
The American Gods. Explain why you chose that backdrop.
I chose this background because of the promotion of what the image of God is. And it is a sellable, marketable thing. So since the image of God is a sellable, marketable thing, instead of you having an imitation of God, let me show you what the image of God truly is.
And that is the woman. So let's get into it. You practice Islam.
I do.
And I want to show you some images from the Islamic, world. And I want to get your opinion on what you feel when you see these images.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you feel when you see those images?
That every Muslim is responsible for themselves. And that is a covenant that is made between a woman and Allah. That is not a mandate. That is a covenant. And when you take the choice of covenant away from any individual, it's tyrannical. Why should I have to protect my brothers? Shall I say, why should I protect his self-development? He should self-develop. I have to cover myself to protect your interest in me. Why can't you just practice self-control? I have to. Because, I mean, after all, a man can be naked from the waist up. I have to be developed enough in myself not to looky loo. As a matter of fact, the Quran says you take one glance and your eyes should hit the ground. Then do that.
So, what are the tenets of Islam when it comes down to the female, and why do you think that right now in current day there's like this muting out of women in the actual tradition?
That's not a modern day thing. The tenets of women are the exact same as the tenets of men if you just go by the Quran. As soon as you throw the 1,000 opinions of another man besides the prophet on top of that, I got a problem with that, because that does not come. The Quran is the final. In the beginning of the book, it says, in this book for the believer, there is no doubt.
So, when it comes down to like things like covering yourself, so recently in Iraq, I think it was in Iraq or Arabia, they made it so that women, it's almost guaranteed that a woman they have to wear this particular garb, and actually not in color but in black. So, do you feel like that's a muting out, and why do you feel like that's necessary in that society?
Because society has become about control. And like I said in the beginning, one of the main tenets of Islam is that you educate yourself. Man and woman, we are all responsible for our own educations, both alike. And anybody that would discard that would discard the fact that the Prophet sent Aisha to medical school. Khadijah ran her own business. And if it was not for Khadijah being the first believer, Muhammad would not have done what Muhammad did.
So, is Islam originally from the Middle East, or would you say Lower Asia, or is it from Africa?
People migrate, people mutate, you know, folks is bought and sold. It's the way of the world. Um, Everything has evolved and is still evolving. This is one of the things that separate us, because there's one silver thread through all of it, and that's just belief. Now, what is your way of believing? That's a process that keeps going. Again, do you stand in the image of God? And let's be honest, there's a whole bunch of gods out here. So God is a very generic term, which is why I really, be specific. Which God? What God? Which God are you talking to? Which one are you going for? Because that's generic. Now, in Islam, the proper name of that God is Allah, which means the all in all. If it is all in all, then it has to have a male and a female component.
Can you expound on the male and female component within Islam? Is there any room for females? And if that is the case, then why is there a muting out in when it comes down to women in the religion?
Well, that depends on where you go, but it's all about power. Who, I mean, in the male world, and let's be honest, from our standpoint, I can only be hypothetical about what's happening in the Middle East. I've never lived there, but I know what's happening here in America when it comes to that. Now, The muting, can we be honest?
100%.
In this world, even when it comes to the Jew, the Christian, and the Muslim, however you want to put that together, in our community, the first thing they're going to scream is polygamy. That's what I've heard. It goes straight to polygamy. Polygamy is a way to increase your power one fold by every person that you get to agree to do that. That's power. That's buying power. That's legacy power. Now, what I feel, and this is personal, what I feel the problem is that as soon as a woman says that she wants more than one husband, all of a sudden polygamy don't make sense. Huh?
Right. Well, polygamy. Yeah, and polygamy is actually the actual meaning of polygamy. Actually means being able to marry multiple partners on both sides. But what happens is that they came up with polygyny and polyandry, and then and then polyamorous. So explain like the differences on those things and how they affect society.
Well, it depends on the effect. Well, I take that back. It depends on the practitioners. If you're being honest about it, or if you're not being honest about it. And the problem is, who's going to admit that they're not being honest? But should be above board. Every woman should know about every woman. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and put this out here just for justice. Just for justice. Because what should be good for the goose should be good for the gander. I'm sorry. Somebody said something in the background. What's good for the goose should be good for the gander.
Your husband was like, "Hell no," probably like, "Hell no, it ain't gonna be good for the gander."
That is not what
Meanwhile,
he
her,
said.
yeah, bring more in, whatever.
That is not what he said. He said yin and yang are equal.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay. Shouts out to the husband, the hubby.
he said yin and yang are equals.
Wow. Now that's another take on it. So that not that many people would say that that would be cool with an Islam. So your husband is who got you into Islam.
No, no. I came into Islam by way of my martial arts teacher.
Okay.
I came in according to my martial arts teacher, and I will tell you the story of why I came into Islam and why I honor Islam the way that I do. One day, Master Muhammad came out his back door, and there were like three of us girls there, and there was like three girls and six guys, and we were training, and at a break, he was like, "Sisters, I would really, I request that y'all come and cover your hair." And I kind of looked around like, why? It was just off the cuff. Why? He was like, and he was honest. He was like, because fighting and sex go hand in hand. That's just the truth of it. Your hair is out. Y'all are exhibiting great force as yin, while most of y'all are fighting yang, and you're surviving it. When it comes down to the reptilian mind, it's sex and magic. Cover your hair. She was like, I come out, my whole chest is covered. Not only is my chest covered, my crotch is covered. I have on very baggy pants. I don't even allow the brothers to be in wife beaters in here because I want y'all to learn to respect one another, not by physicality, but by ability. And if I can give you that respect, I ask you to give me the same. I was like, wow, whatever it is he's doing, I want to do it too.
So, like, explain the power of the hair, and showing the hair in Islam. Why is it important to cover the hair?
Well, the way it was explained to me is that it's not necessarily the hair that's being covered. Bec- the hair is the product of what's in the head. We're talking about the connection between the 12th and 13th chakra. That's between you and your God. And that is most precious. And it should be covered if you would like, if you would like, because that is a covenant covering between you and your God. Everybody should not be privy to that. But that again is a choice because some people don't mind everybody being privy to it. And that's okay too. This is not a forced thing. Sometimes you'll see me covered, sometimes I won't be. Sometimes I want to be identified, sometimes I don't.
What's interesting is that even in Ifa, me as a priestess of Ifa, I wear my hair covered as an Oya priestess. I was told that as often as possible you should have your head covered.
Mhm.
Because your Ori is where God sits, right? So, is it something similar to that, where the Ori, the head, is where God sits, and why is it? Why is it that? Is it the same for men? Should they have their hair covered too?
Yes, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Yin and yang reflect one another.
Here's another question: Why do you think a lot of people that I know that are Islamic practice martial arts? Why do you think there's a connection to martial arts in the Islamic community?
Because you can't keep what you can't protect.
Wow. And do you think it's like also the connection to Asia, like the Middle East being connected so close to, like, India, Asia, et cetera, et cetera?
You can't keep what you can't protect.
Ashe, ashe. Hey, Simon, did you have a question? Well, you came up here.
Peace and blessings, bro. Oh, I can't hear.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, there's a lot because, yeah. Um, I don't want to be rude or intrusive, but
Peace and blessings, brother.
I'm just kind of interested. Yeah.
Hold on. First, say peace and blessings. You just
Yeah,
be
yeah.
respectful.
Peace and blessings. Um, so it sounds like your journey sounds really interesting. Um, so did it just take one person to say something for you to change your whole life?
No, it took one person to demonstrate something that changed my whole life.
So the demonstration was from a singular entity throughout your whole time on
No,
this earth.
no,
Okay, so was it a series of things that made you like think I'm gonna become, because it's a whole becoming, right? Like to
yes.
switch your whole ideal. If you had a predecessor sort of ideology about something else,
Yes.
and then you stuck with it. So I don't know. I just find that kind of intriguing.
I stuck with it because it got me results.
Okay, so that's where it is. So
Hmm.
it got you. I mean, because you had results anyway, but was it better results after or?
Okay, let me put it this way. Let me give you a little bit of the journey between me and my teacher because he was the catalyst. Let me not say this. I was the catalyst for my change. He was the path I took for that change. I Me and God had a sit down conversation. I was mad. I was mad. And my covenant said that in 6 months, if I cannot find someone who practices what they preach and still keep their humanity, I will follow that path for the rest of my life. It took 3 weeks for me to spend my last $7 to go see a lecture on a man who said you can recondition your whole body in 7 years. As a biology student, I knew that to be true, but I wanted to know what he was going to say about it. And I spent my last $7 for the month to go see him. And from there, everything he said was right and exact, down to the science. I couldn't put a hole in it. And at the end, when I asked him, how did he come to this without being in formal college? He said, the study and mastery of Tai Chi. I was the last one to join that class that he would say he would teach with a certain number, and that number was 7. I joined that class, and that man, everything that came out of his mouth was truth. He proved it by doing it. It wasn't hyperbole, it wasn't hypothesis. It was rubber to the road. He told me he could make me a martial arts champion. Brother, I was over 300 pounds when he said that. It took him 2.5 years to make me a world champion within my own right. As a black woman, I fought men on an international level. I'm an international swordswoman. I have a lifetime achievement award for martial arts.
And you told me that you went to the Olympics. You actually was an Olympian.
He said what he was gonna do. He asked me if I would help him do it. He was very honest about what I would have to do. And I agreed to do it. And along the way, the enlightenment that he found, he helped me find. And like I said to the God when I made my deal, if I found a man that was practicing what he preached, I would follow his path for the rest of my life. I have to keep my deal.
That's a beautiful story, man. So the main thing is I wanted to really get into really when it really comes down into Islam. Simon, do you have any more questions?
No, I was just listening.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna kind of drop you down. If you have something to say, just let me know in the chat. You'll still be in the background, but just let me know if you have a question. Okay.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming up, Brother Simon.
So when it really comes down to the feminine energy, I really wanted to really get into the aspects where like Islam does it revere the feminine energy, or does it like why the main that's the main thing. Is it revered? Is that why there's a covering over the feminine energy? Is that why? Hey Napad, welcome to the chat.
For us,
You just and please to your guest, Fundi. Am I pronouncing it correct, Fundi?
Fundi
yes,
feet.
ma'am. Peace
Fundi.
and blessings, love.
Peace. Yes, I'm sorry I wasn't here at the beginning. I didn't get any link, nothing. I thought I was gonna join.
Well, you know what? Aset took my phone and it died and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I kept calling you, but I'm glad I checked your channel because I wanted to tune in. I was listening to how should I address you as Fundi
So,
Fee or
but
Mr.
explain
Fundi?
what Fundi means. Tell what your name really means. What is Fundi and what is a Fundi fee? What is that? What does that really mean?
Fundi is Swahili, and it means a technician, someone who is unusually skilled at what they do. It also means someone that brings old knowledge into the future, someone who teaches, and that's what they do. They are a teacher. But for me, it's a title, not necessarily a name. I was initiated into the name Fundi, but my name is Fee. So any one of them is fine.
And also, she's also a master at Tai Chi. So she's not just a Islamic practitioner, but she's also a martial artist and everything. So, and that's when I actually did an interview with her not too long ago discussing Islamic Taoism and things like that. So, and yeah, so just to give a background, go ahead, Nabat.
That's very interesting. That's awesome. I wanted to ask you from because unfortunately I don't know a lot about you. I tried to stream this to my channel because I wanted my audience to get introduced to you, and it's not letting me. So okay, well,
It's actually showing up that it's there. So just so you know, it actually is streaming. So
on my channel.
yeah, it is. It
Oh,
says
that's wild.
it has a check. So
I know, but I want to. Okay, so that's enough of that. I want to talk to you and ask you from the beginning. I would like to find out. Do you do conventional Islamic practice? Like because when I hear divine feminine, I really want you to walk me down as concisely as possible because I have so many questions. How do you get to um, ex- exhort divine feminine in Islam, in modern day Islam? So I want you to explain that to me.
Well, again, one of the tenements of Islam is that every Muslim must increase their knowledge, male and female. Another slight tenement that adds to the divine feminine in particular is that if a man leaves his house, his woman should be able to protect his house as he would. If I don't have the same martial knowledge as my husband or my male counterpart or my father or my brother, when they leave the house, we're sitting ducks, and you cannot keep what you cannot protect.
Mhm.
That's just across the board. If you cannot protect your territory, you will not keep it. If you cannot protect your woman, you are not entitled to them. If you cannot protect your man, you can't have one. And if you cannot protect your children, you shouldn't be having one.
Okay. How long have you been? Thank you for that answer. How long have you been practicing? How long have you been a practicing Muslim?
29 years.
Wow, 29 years. You look 29. And I'm not trying to be funny. What the heck? 29 years is a long time. Wow.
Oh,
You
no,
started
ma'am.
as a little girl? Like, and with
Miss
I was gonna
Nepal,
say, what were we gonna say?
I'm 52.
Oh wow, you look maybe like in your 30s, and I know that would be. There's so much to ask you. I don't want to start. I'm sure it has to do with lifestyle. I know that we say black don't crack, but there's a lot of cracking blacks out there. Just say. So I know that. So I'm gonna put that on the back burner
Yes,
with
ma'am.
how you look so young and healthy. I do want to go back to you said 29 years, so I'm assuming that you started as a child, right? Or was it a family that you? Oh no, so you how did just give me a little bit of your like you're just one day getting up and you're like, oh, Islam. Let me look into that. How did it happen?
No, it had to do with my deal with God. I told God that I would follow someone who practiced what came out of their mouths. And Master Muhammad showed up. And this was a man that was openly practicing polygamy. Both wives lived in the same house with all of the children. They all practiced Islam. Uh, he was honest. He was forthright. He was is an honorable man. What he said he was going to do, he did. He never kept any secrets. He, his word was his bond, and his bond became my life. And in that life, none of his words have failed.
Wow. Now, when you say Master Muhammad, are you saying the Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
No.
Okay, that's the one thing. You see, I was keen on that. I need to know who you're talking about. Tell
No.
tell me. Who you,
No, I am
tell me
talking
who you're
about
talking
my martial arts teacher, Master Al Wali Muhammad.
Okay, so now we know that is who you were speaking about specifically. I'm listening to you, and I really want to let you know I have so many different sisters that I interact with different. They follow different lifestyles, different walks. Different doctrines. I when I hear you say, when you acknowledge the divine feminine, and you're in a spiritual belief system that is known to be patriarchal. Not all the way. I know now. If anybody knows, there's a beginning. Pre-Islam, there's the goddess Allah worship. But we're talking
Correct.
about Allah. So I'm excited to hear a sister who is leading other. Shout out to my sister Ebony Queen and a couple other sisters I know who follow Islam. Are leading other sisters who I connect with. You follow me. I'm gonna hand this over to you. I have sisters that are following Islam. They're very devout. I don't follow Islam, but they love me and I love them. I teach things that I'm sure they don't agree with about women and especially modesty. But then they sit and they still vibrate with me on a feminine level. When I see someone like you who is fully embraced in the culture and in the spirituality, but then you say divine feminine. I hope to work with you, so you get what I'm saying. So my sister Ebony Queen can see you and go, okay, Nepal is working in conjunction with Fundi Fi, and Fundi Fi is definitely in Islam. So I said all that for you to tell me, what do you teach sisters who are in Islam about how can they fully embrace divine femininity? How can they do that? And now I'm gonna be quiet. I said a lot, but I just want to give that all to you because I'm really wanting to hear this.
Just to know that the Quran does not forget you, it makes reference to you, for you. There's a whole chapter in the Quran dedicated to the Holy Mother herself. There's a reason. When we say Allah, I often ask my sisters that when we say Allah, What there's a picture, there's a feeling that takes place in you. What is that feeling? Let's identify that. Because when we say Allah, it says all in all. Everything is in there. And if everything is in there and everything comes out of there, then by rational logic, male and female principle sit in this all in all as an interdependent thing that produces the 1,000 things out of cooperation. That sounds so much better than the God's a man. How?
So, what is the difference between a lot and Allah? Is there a difference?
It's the difference in saying yin and yang.
Mm.
A lot is Allah. Like yin, there's yang and yin and yang. It's what keeps them attracted to one another. It's the magnetism, so to speak. If you separate them, things blow up. And that's just, and we know that by splitting the atom. You
Mm.
split the atom, you have an atomic boom, or something blows sky high. The world has become a bunch of pyromaniacs. They want to see fire. Okay? They want to see fire. They want to see destruction. The easiest way to see fire and destruction is separate yin and yang, separate man and woman, put tension between them. Put tension between them. Because if you make them think that it is an opposition instead of a cooperation, they act differently toward each other. And again, that's just studying yin and yang.
So, what is the opposite position? Because you know what, nowadays you have a lot of like opposition between men and female. Like when it comes down to online activity, what do you feel like, from like from your standpoint is the reason? Nepal, where you be going? You be just
I
this.
was listening to her. I had to catch her. I know I could get it later, but I needed to hear her talk.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No, I wanted to get it on my. I wanted to get it to stream on my channel, especially for the sisters. Can you hear me? You can hear me.
Yes.
I can hear you. Yeah,
I
it's.
just wanted my sisters to hear her breakdown. I loved it, and I was excited. I ran straight to my channel. I was like, I gotta get this now. So
And
Yeah,
you know,
tell everybody
Nicole,
to come over here. I don't know why your channel's not showing it. I
you
see.
can, yeah, I know, but thank you. I love that answer though.
and Nepal, thank you for shifting your position on leadership.
Oh wow, you're welcome.
Leadership is not about genitals. And when you put it that way, it makes it sound so the ridiculousness that it is. Leadership is about ability. Who can do the job the best, male or female? That doesn't matter. It never did. What matters is ability.
Mhm.
When we get back to ability, who has the better ability to lead? Now we're moving forward in our progress as humans.
Oh
Thank you.
wow. Can I want to jump in and I want you to repeat that part when you talk about leadership and ability. Oh wow, this is great because I'm going to ask you this,
Sure.
and I really want to hear from you. I recently did a stream. I used to be super patriarchal, like male leadership only. I don't want to hear anything. I used to go back and forth with my sisters. Now I say I still believe ideally that we need male leadership. However, the reality is that there are a lot of males who don't lead as well as some women in different cases. So now I say good leadership. So I'm becoming, my eyes are getting open. And when I even talk like this, people say feminism. No, I want to hear from you, especially as a woman of Islam. Talk to us about male exclusive male leadership, just across the board. I don't want to hear anything versus good leadership who can do this better in this job. Get what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what the gender is. You get. I want to hear from you on that.
The this is what I can say about that. And I, again, a reason that I gravitate so much toward my teacher and his excuse me, and his way of governance. In our dojo, in our group, because each of us have our field of expertise, it is incumbent that the one that knows the most about the subject matter would lead, because again, in our belief, a leader is a server. A leader is one that goes amongst the different components, grabs all that information, puts it together, puts it on a spreadsheet, collaborates it, and then spits it back out to the components as a whole piece so that component can drive itself where it's going. He or she who can communicate that better is the one for the job.
Mm,
It saves us time. It saves us money. It doesn't mean that anybody else can't have input. That's not what it means, because everybody gets their input from the beginning. It's a round table, and every perspective, every degree is important, because again, we can be sitting down and talking about anything, and you see an angle, Nepal, that I can't see from my perspective. But if we put it all together transparently,
mm-hmm.
we can move forward. That's the only way to move forward.
Do you
And
get a
it
lot of
doesn't
men?
matter the genitals. We're so focused on genitals, it's ridiculous. I thought
Yes.
those were supposed to be covered.
Uh-oh, I need my bomb to drop on that one. Let me ask you this. I love
I'll
that.
make,
I love that. I love that answer.
I'll make the noise.
Okay, thank you. Let me ask you, what about the brothers that are in Islam with you? How do they because you are, I love what you're saying. I'm so excited because we now have, okay, there are sisters in Islam, this one especially leading, saying yes, feminine divine. When you just told me there's a book in the Quran that speaks of the mother, that's the first time I ever heard that. So let me ask you, what are the brothers in Islam? How do they receive your message?
Uh, of course, the ones in my group, they're okay with it. But other brothers, well, what we call the extremes. Of course, they're not. They don't. This is the way that my teacher put it, and this is the way I'm gonna put it. Sometimes yang shines so bright that it believes that it is the only brilliance in the sky, because it cannot see beyond its own brightness.
Can you explain what yin and yang is? Because I mean, Nepal wasn't here for the discussion when you, as a Taoist, discussed the difference between yin and yang. So, like I said, that Fundi is a Islamic Taoist, so it's a
Hmm.
combination of Islamism and also Taoism. So, so a lot of her understandings of things come from both well, from everything. Trust me, because
Mm-hmm.
she can break
Mm-hmm.
down E5. She can break down everything. It's she really shouldn't even label herself as anything. She really is everything. Like when it really comes down to religion, she is a master of all. I'm not sure what the name is. It Sufism? There's a name for that. Also, I was gonna say, can you break down the different aspects of Islam? Break you have like your different parts. So where would you lie in those aspects? I just said a lot, so just go ahead. So
I would be a Sufi.
yeah, so a Sufi is like pretty much a master of all, like not
Okay.
just one individual methodology of practice. So because of the fact that she also understands Taoism, like Hinduism, Buddhism, everything, she she done transcended just past really Islam, but
Mm-hmm.
they utilize Islam to really be able to discuss how it deals with the divine feminine. But she has surpassed pretty much all that. So go ahead, Fundi.
And to be particular, I use yin and yang for a reason, because male and female is such a trigger now in our day-to-day communication. Women this, men that, women this, men that, da 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 da. So I use yin and yang to surpass the trigger of male and female in our conversations. It's very deliberate.
Oh, wow. So you is this? Can you hear me? I'm
Yes, ma'am.
sorry. So is that common to? I've never heard of a someone who is Islam also merging with this type of Eastern philosophy, the other Eastern. Is that common?
No.
How did you do this? Explain to us how you merged that.
Once you understand the principle of how yin and yang works and how yin and yang presents itself, because it's one thing, it's not two things, it's the two things that is the one thing, just like Allah. It's much like, here we go, it's much like in English grammar, that when you are speaking about a group of people, you don't give the she pronoun. You give it a he pronoun. You know, they or them. When you say mankind, you are speaking of women, but you're using the male pronoun, or noun form. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you're speaking in that term, the female aspect can very much get lost in that male term, which is why, as you get up into your knowledge, you stop referring even to yin and yang as such, putting the and in between them, because they're not two things. It's yin yang, they're one.
Mm. Wow. How and now? How long have you been practicing the Taoism?
Mm. I began practicing Taoism about what, 2012, when I went to China to get my Lifetime Achievement Award.
Now you have to tell me about that.
Oh,
Lifetime
man,
achievement.
hold on. She's an Olympian. She's actually an Olympian in Tai Chi.
Oh my goodness.
She went to the Olympics. So
Really? Oh
yeah,
my
like
gosh.
she
You
is not
gotta
a player.
where you've been keeping her away from me. Because I need to what? Okay, now you have to give us that information. Tell me, where did that journey begin? How did you become is it called a Taoist?
Yes, a Taoist.
Okay, a Taoist. What happened on that? Like, when did you take that up? Did you take it up through? So you said the brother Muhammad.
Hmm. When I went for my Lifetime Achievement Award, which inducted me into the Martial Arts Hall of Fame, I I was sitting down talking to a monk, and I had had so many enlightening moments with my teacher that as this monk was speaking, I had what's known I this is completely my perspective. This is my existence. I had what's known as a breakthrough. I had an enlightening moment that literally brought me to tears. I was able to pierce the veil into what's known as the common one, the one thing that produced all of this. And it had everything in it. It was void of no thing. It wasn't a void of nothing.
Mm.
And there's a difference. It was void of no thing. And I was in that thing. I was a part of that thing. Everything was a part of that thing. And I understood yin and yang at that moment. Wasn't yin and yang, it was yin yang. And I was a part of it. Being excluded for so long and being told that we were the beginning of sin. Without the woman, there would be no sin. And that was untrue. It was void of no thing. And I took that and I've tried to explain that to the best of my ability. Because again, I said I would follow this man that told me no lie and gave me no illusion. I would follow his path. And on that path is where I found the void of no thing. Christianity did not give me that. Being of Jewish faith, because I was, did not give me that. And even coming to that void of no thing, it did not cancel any one thing out. No one thing got canceled out because it was void of no thing. So I must honor
Wow.
all things because in the image of God, everything stands.
It's all. It is
It's
all.
all.
And that is what I have been fighting. Listen, that's what I have. You know what? I took some ayahuasca. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? And when I did my ayahuasca, you know what I'm saying? I realized that everything is everything. You know what I'm saying? And you know what Donnie Hathaway said? Everything is everything. What will be. Right? The our people in the 60s knew this stuff, but we didn't even realize what they were saying. They were talking about Atlantis in the 60s. They were talking about all that in the music. Everything is everything. What will be, will be. Right? Donnie Hathaway. So it's crazy that even so now it's really up to us, people like us, that are going to bring this truth to people that really we think that it's a separation. And that's why I'm bringing people like the Pa, who's a Hebrew Israelite, you know, who used to be, or are you? Well, I'm E5, but my thing is I'm starting to expand beyond E5. You've expanded beyond even what you're doing. Everything that everybody's expanding, And it's really the time of the woman, and that's why I want to like talk about the divine feminine. Let's really get into the divine feminine and our what's happening in society that lets us know that it's our time and why.
Well, we have to understand that we have been trained literally to give our energies away. Yin has been subjugated to yang. But when we look out into the night sky, the only reason you can see light is because of the darkness. You cannot see in absolute light,
Is
and
yin
you
the darkness?
cannot see in
By the way,
absolute darkness.
is yin the darkness or is yang the darkness?
Yin is the darkness,
And that's
yang is the
the
light.
the feminine energy versus the light energy is the so yin is the darkness, yang is
And
the light.
and anywhere you see light, the only way you see it is that there's darkness around it. And dark yin is not intrusive. Wu Qi gives birth to yin and yang, but yang is inside of yin. And then yin produces yang. And Wu Qi and yin yield so that yang can shine because that is what it was produced to do. And just as it shines, it is going to burn out and it will return back into yin, and yin will encompass it, and both will return back into Wu Qi to be produced again and again and again and again and again.
And what is Wu Chi?
Wu Qi is what produced yin and yang. It is the void of no thing.
That
And
that's
I,
a that,
I want to ask you about chi because I have in the past, and I don't, I don't talk about it, but I just telekinesis practicing. So, can you explain to people how that is not abnormal? Like when you talk about chi,
I'm sorry,
your
Nepal. Say
phone
it
kind of
again.
broke up a little bit. Nepal, say it again.
like okay, I've practiced telekinesis, like working with this. With me, it's I'm sure it's my telekinesis. So, like I use a side wheel, and sometimes I'll use um minor things like straws. So basically, can you talk to us about chi and how it definitely is telekinetic, meaning that that energy, that this energy can move objects and even work, it can even work telepathically with other people. Basically, I want you to really talk to people about what chi is.
So it sounds like she's asking about telekinesis and how, because your phone is breaking up a little bit, Nepal. Like it's like going in and out. But I think she's saying that explain about telekinesis and how like that chi energy is connected to telekinesis. Am I right, Nepal? Okay, just
Yes, yes, definitely.
okay.
Okay. Okay, first. The easiest definition for chi is energy. The underlying the underlying thread of energy that keeps everything in the universe animated. Okay, that's the simplest definition that I can give in English. Now, chi can be directed into anything. Just like chi is the battery that you put in the flashlight to make it work. If the chi goes low, so does the energy that is being produced. So you'll get a low light battery, right? If in the body, the chi, the, let me put it this way, The Song of the 13 Postures explains this perfectly. May I recite the Song of the 13 Postures?
Sure, go ahead.
Never neglect any of the 13 postures. The source of the will is in the waist. Pay attention to the slightest change from full to empty and let the chi flow through the whole body constantly. Stillness embodies motion. Motion, stillness. Seek stillness in motion, and surprising things will happen when you meet your opponent. Be aware of all changes, bent and stretched, opened and closed. Let nature take its course. Beginners are guided by oral teaching, and gradually, one applies oneself more and more, skill will take care of itself. At all times, pay attention to the waist. With the abdomen loose and light, the chi can be activated. If the coccyx is erect, that's your tailbone, people. If your coccyx is erect, the shin, which is your spirit, rises to the top of the head. Be alert and seek meaning in the purpose of Tai Chi Chuan. What is the main principle of Tai Chi Chuan? Rejuvenation and prolonging of life beyond the normal span. What is the principle of Tai Chi Chuan? That one keeps your natural mind. Every word of this song has enormous value and importance. Failing to follow this song attentively, you will sigh away your time.
Thank you so much. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
I love it. I got it.
This is what I'm talking about. Man, listen. That's why I'm saying we need to hear all of the different things that are out here, because if you only listen to one, you're missing out on the other. And that's what I've been saying this whole time. Imagine you never heard that, Tenet. That right? Now
Right,
it's explaining in a different way. Now it might say the same thing in the Torah in another way, right?
right,
But imagine how it's saying that about the body, right?
right.
It's very exact about the body. In other systems, it's a secret about the body. Am I right?
You're right, which is why we study as much as we possibly can, because no one discipline has all of the secrets. The
Thank you.
secrets were split and hid amongst different peoples and different practices. And you must go mingle. You must go be the alchemist. You must go on your journey to discover that truth.
And discover all, like not just be stuck to one, because there's a missing piece in each thing. One thing might be missing the other. That's oh my god, that's what I've been saying this whole time. Thank you, Fundi. Go ahead, Nepal. I'm sorry.
And I hope that explained a little bit about chi and how it works. And you can direct it anywhere into anything. It takes the path of least resistance. If you say you're an empath, it's going to charge that. If you say you're kinetically inclined, it's going to charge that. If you say that you're stupid, it's going to charge that. If you say you're ugly, it's going to charge that. It is
Mm.
indiscriminate.
I just absolutely love listening to this. You're fine, Genesis. I was loving this. I was okay, Genesis. We I need to do a stream with her and you guys, both of us. We have to bring you over because I was trying to dual stream it. It was all in rigged up, all crazy. I was using the aluminum foil on the bunny rabbit antenna ears. Nothing was happening.
It's showing it's like doing it, but I don't know why it's not doing it.
No, it's the energy. Something's going on. It's because I wasn't doing it correctly. This needs to be. This is the second time you've interviewed with Genesis Fundi.
Yes, ma'am. On this platform, yes, ma'am.
Okay, Genesis, you know you can always promote your
Hey,
room.
hey, listen. Do you want to like restart it and put
Yes, we need to bring her over to the big channel right now. That's a,
Hey, are you cool with that? Are you cool with that?
oh my gosh, she is
She's
amazing.
dropping too many gems to like just only be with.
That's why when she started, I'm over here crying with her. I'm trying
Listen, I've been crying the whole time. Like,
oh
I've been
my
crying
gosh.
every time she cried. Like, I'm like
You,
going through it.
Genesis, you're crazy because you were like, "Oh
She
yeah, I'm bringing this lady on," and I'm sitting here like, "This is a master teacher woman. She is Islam, so they can't come at us like trying to bring in that feminism. You know what I mean? It's like she's a gem, and we need her. So I need to do this if you can. I know you spend a
all right,
lot of
so
time.
maybe okay, all right, Fundi. Okay, so
Can we start? Can you come over to the big channel if I set it all up?
so
And
because she got way more people that's gonna see this. And I really believe that what we're trying to do, I think more people need to see it. But because it's not about like ego. It's about like really getting the
yeah,
message out.
no, but they need to see it. It's not. It's we are having a paradigm shift for the divine feminine. I'm gonna mute out because I'm calling Sonetta
I'm
right
fixing to cry.
now.
I'm about to cry, dude.
I already was crying with you. Let me call Sonetta and tell him to stay
I've been
right
crying.
there. Don't move.
The whole time. Like,
Stay right there.
yeah, y'all, the yin and the yang, and the yang and the yin. They all belong together.
They belong together. They're not separated. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Why do they gotta be separate? Oh my god.
And I'm a part of it.
We're all a part of it all. Like, dude, I'm going back to my ayahuasca experience. Like, that's what I experienced when we all are one. We're one. God dang it. You hear we're one. Separation illusion. God damn it. I didn't hear my daughter. Are you okay? Get some help. Child. Well, listen, we getting help. We this is a little session of feminine energy. But
And let's be honest. Isn't that what we're looking for from our spiritual experience?
100%. And see, let me tell you something. And listen, how many people would be like, I end my thing just to let your message get sung? You know what I'm saying? That my ego ain't involved because I know this is a higher purpose in this whole thing. Like, bro, listen, I want people to hear what you have to say. That's how much I value what you got to say. It's not about me because I have been trying to push the same thing, but I'm not powerful enough. I don't. People think they listen to me. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? But you know how to put it in a way that it breaks it down. I still got to learn how to break it down. I haven't learned that yet.
That's what I'm here for.
So we waiting on the pie. She making a phone call. It's gonna get on like even a bigger channel, and hopefully it gets like okay. Well, to do that so we can like get on here and really share this knowledge because when it really comes down to it, like us as women have been subdued, and that's why I started off with showing this image. I said, what I'm saying, what is this? So you have Islam, but then you have this what is the word? Not subduction. What was I gonna say? It's the subduction. I was say subduction. I was going to make up a whole word. The subduation of the female. Why the woman up here looking through screens? Why can't she see past? Why do they want her to like be looking through a screen when she walks through the streets? To stop you from lusting after her, or because you guys know what you're really like hiding?
How does that make military sense? How does she protect herself under all of that?
Right. If someone were to attack her and she got to get through all this, how's she gonna do it?
So, excuse me. Shout out to your audience, by the way. I know you're still live, so just let them know. Thank you, Fundi Fee, for. Is it Fundi Fee or Fundi Fee?
Either
Feet.
way works.
Fundi Fee. Okay. I'm going to bring you over to the Sonnetter Studios channel. And Genesis, you do what you do over
No,
here, whatever.
I'm in this stream, and we just gonna come over there. But I hope that I'm able to like simul stream it because
Well, you better just, that's some other stuff I got to work out. But I can call him and ask him. Let me ask him now. We're talking about this on the live, by the way. Let's
it's okay.
give me
It's
one
okay.
second. Give me 1 second.
If he say no, it's okay. We're gonna still just go over there. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about my channel. It's not about ego. It's about getting them really getting people to hear what you have to say. I'm
The
not
law
I'm not a,
guides my
I'm not
path.
it's not I'm not an ego person.
Allah guides my path.
And it's not about you. He has a lot of love and respect for Genesis. Sonetter just is like that. And so it's 100% not anything, but I got to get her out there now. Like I'm like, I need to put this woman on right now. So just as,
I'd rather like help push you up and promote you. It's not about me, you know, because
The Lord is
what you have to offer Fundi is way more than anything with my listen. Sometimes it's about like listen, let's let you know what I'm saying. It's about growth and going. Listen,
let me start the stream because he's not answering, and I need to start the stream so we can get back over there, get situated, everybody settled in. So just give me.
send the link to the stream.
No, don't end your stream until I get it all done. Right? You guys keep talking, keep letting her share all this. Wow, I want to take you over there because this is what I want to do. I want everybody to get. Genesis has already been acquainted with you. I want people to hear, basically the stuff you were saying. I know it's going to be organic again, but I want them to know who you are. And so, Genesis, you just introduce her like you did before, and we just let her enlighten these people on her journey about the Taoism. I'm trying to say it correctly. He's calling me back, and then the divine feminine, all that stuff. So let me start the stream. 1 second.
that's a
how will I
blessing.
get
That's a
that
blessing.
information?
Let
Well,
me
you
tell
know how to
you.
send me the info.
Yeah, no, she gonna send. She gonna hit me up. But listen, that's a blessing. That's how you know God is working within. That's how you know Allah is guiding your path right here. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, I got chills right now. I'm like, what?
What did I tell you about you?
Right,
Deny it now. Deny it now. Go ahead in real time. Deny it now.
right. Okay, you're right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. DJ such and such.
Right.
Did I lie?
You didn't. You didn't.
And that's just the inside joke between me and you.
Right.
Told you.
You did. Like I was like, what? Man.
Told you. I told you who you were. Don't that. Real fucking time. Mirror to the face. Deny it now. But I digress.
Right. I didn't even think it was a big deal. Like I was like, okay, that's just like something that just happened. Like I was so used to it happen, I didn't even like notice it was a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. When done correctly, all appears effortless. It doesn't mean that it is, not at all. Great effort has already been put in. But when done correctly, all appears effortless,
Wow. Oh my
which
God.
means you've done something correctly.
Ashe.
I'm make you glorify yourself one way or the other, Genesis, because you deserve it. As women, we deserve it. We are the image of God, not by ourselves, but definitely one side of the coin. Can't have a coin without both sides. And if one side does not glorify itself, the other side won't either. It will turn into chaos and destruction.
Exactly. Chad, you can't keep doing this to me. I gotta like be able to look at the screen and not be crying and all this stuff. Too much crying going on. All right, so let me see if it's coming up over there. Let me see. Is she gonna put it on the House of Consciousness or the?
How much time does she have for the show? I have nothing else to do for the rest of the night. I have nothing to do. I cleared my schedule for this.
Honey, we was about to go in. Trust me, we was fixing to go in on all this stuff. Trust me. I had told her everything I was trying to talk about because I said, you know what, it's too much beat bulldaggery going on. And I brought the pie and I said, listen, I want you to come in and interview her and talk to her because man, like when it really come down to it, it's not too many women that can break it down like how she do. I've never met no and not be egotistical about it. You know, some women when they get their knowledge, they become very egotistical and very dogmatic. Hey, what's up, Nepal?
Hey, I'm just bringing you the link. Let everybody know. It's fine for you to dual stream it. So that's
Oh,
great. And I remember we're just gonna we need the audience to get to know her. That's what he was just telling me. He wants to just let her flow. So he's like, baby, don't talk too much. Let her go. So I was telling him how amazing you are. So definitely, here's the link right here. I'm dropping it in your private chat for the StreamYard, Genesis and Fundi fee. Can
okay.
you, can you see it?
Also drop the YouTube link into the chat so people can like know where to go. Because
Okay.
it's about like a little bit of 11 people up here. You know, even though it's a little
No,
small.
no, that's fine. Yeah, definitely. If you want to just keep
You
this
got it,
going,
Fundi?
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna go onto yours so I can like just restream it
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah. So because otherwise it's not gonna do it right. So
So it's the HOK, and you definitely we need. I need.
I just send it to your Facebook, Fundi.
I
Okay.
need our people over there to see this divine feminine master Taoist, Olympic champion, Muslim teacher. Really, I tried to put everything you are. I couldn't fit it in the whole title. So,
Man,
um,
and that ain't even all everything.
yeah.
Man, listen, she
Let's
know
get her over there.
everything from every religion you could think of. Yeah.
Okay, well, we need to definitely get her over there, and I'm going to drop the link to the channel, of course, and to the stream. So I'm just going to start the stream once I get out of here. Let the music play because we promote you do that little intro. So
Fundi,
there,
you got the link to the StreamYard?
I put the link in the back chat. You see it?
I do have that. Am I letting go of Genesis's studio and going into this one?
Wait a minute. What did I just do?
Yeah, like leave this one and then go over to that one. Well, did you start it
Okay.
already?
Oh no. Here. This is the video. This is for everybody in your comments to come over. I didn't start it. So here's that in your comments. Some of his people are already in there, I see. In your chat. Okay, so here's the link, everybody, to come over and see her on the House of Consciousness. Thank you so much for your patience and your cooperation for doing this for us, Fundi and DJ Genesis. I'm gonna go out, start the stream, and just get the music intro and everything. So waiting for you guys, okay, you ladies. All right.
Okay, see you over there,
All
Fundi.
right. Peace and love. Peace. See you soon.
Alchemize your energy, Darling, let your spirit be free. Don't give up, keep on pushing through. Now is the time, it's all up to you. Alchemize your energy, my friend. Let your spirit be free. Don't give up, keep on pushing through. Now is the time, it's all up to you. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, we will always take flight. Keep on pushing through the darkness of night. There's no limit, let's reach for the sky. Shine so bright, from darkness to light.